Hey guys, David Liss RVT here, and we are going to talk about how to really properly use an IV pump. Sounds like something that's really simple, but I see mistakes in the setup all the time, and one of those mistakes is not setting the pump's volume to be infused correctly and not clearing those pumps out before you use them. So we have a VersaFlow 1000 here made by Sharn. There's so many different types of IV pumps, so they have a lot of similar kind of buttons and readouts and things, so just kind of apply this to the one that you have at your clinic. So we set up an IV earlier, so my line is ready, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this IV pump. So we're going to just kind of hit the handle and kind of open this here, and the line just very simply kind of feeds through from top to bottom. Now, first thing, and again, I'm sure you think it's pretty simple, but don't put the line in the wrong way or it will actually suck blood out of your patient. You guys have probably all seen that happen. So make sure that it's going from the pump, from the bag through the pump to the patient, so that when the machine does its rollers or suction action or whatever it's doing and is pulling on the liquid in the IV bag, it's pushing it into the patient, not pulling it out of the patient. Okay, so we'll close the door, make sure everything's good and kinked, make sure there's no air bubbles in here. Go ahead and turn that pump on. The other thing we're going to need to do is now we can really undo the roller clamp because the machine will keep it clamped. All right, so this machine gives an immediate readout, which is nice. It gives a date, it gives a time, it gives a volume delivered and a volume limit and a rate. These are the three basic things that are really important in an IV pump. The volume delivered is going to be how much was given. The volume limit is going to be how much the machine will calculate to give until it stops, and then you have your rate. So if you have a patient who's going to be on IV fluids for many, many days, your volume limit should equal the size of your bag if they're going to get the whole bag. If the patient is receiving a small amount of fluid, the volume limit should equal that amount of fluid. If they're getting, say, 100 mils as a bolus, that's what that should equal. So make sure these get set, because a lot of times pumps will beep and say, oh, I've given 1,000 mils and that was my limit, and there's fluid still in the bag. What does that mean? It means the pump is screwing up. So we need to make sure that those are correct. Volume delivered, that's something that you're going to check on a regular basis every couple hours or so to make sure the amount of volume that's been given to the patient on the pump is matching what is also given in the bag. So if this says 100 mils delivered, this should have gone down from a full 1,000 mils down to the 1, which means we've given 100 mils. And then the rate as well. So you want to go through, you want to make sure that these get cleared. The nice thing is that the volume delivered here on this pump starts out at 0, so there's no memory there, which is great. It has not delivered anything. The volume limit, we're going to go ahead and change by hitting the enter and set button. We don't want to change the infusion rate. Let's say it's 40 mils an hour, but we're going to go back here and we're going to enter that. Then we're going to go to volume limit, and we're going to go ahead and bump that up all the way to 1,000. I know it's going to take a while. That's all right. This is part of good patient care. All the way to 1,000. That's our limit for this patient, getting 40 mils an hour. It's going to be 1,000. So I won't bore you by doing that, but we'll send this all the way up to 1,000. Once we're there, we'll hit enter again. This will all be set. Imagine that says 1,000, then we'll hit start. The other thing that this pump can do is it can do a bolus setting. So if you're going to give a bolus really rapidly, you push this and it's going to push a very, very fast rate. So make sure everything is set to that you're connected to the patient and you want to give a bolus. If this is connected to the patient and you hit the bolus button, be prepared because you're going to be giving fluids very, very quickly.